Recording started.
All right, so today what we're going to go over, South America, kind of part one. So this is lesson 10 is what this is. So what we're going over right now is going to translate into lesson 10 quiz. So you can kind of look at that. So what should be due today, you should finish up with lesson 9 quiz, okay? And what I was telling some people that just popped in not too long ago, I mean, if you just popped in, you might not have heard this. So this is our second to last unit, so unit 4. Then we have unit 5, and then we're going to be finished with the class, if you can believe that. So before we go out on winter break, we will be completed with the class. And then you'll just have to get things all turned in and that kind of stuff. I believe it's by, if I can remember the correct date, let's see here, January 8th, I think it's January 8th is the last day to turn anything in. And I'll kind of let you know when that comes closer. But if you do want to jump ahead a little bit, feel free to do so. The units are open, and you can start going on there. Okay, let's start rolling here. Oh, I did fail to mention that today I don't think it's going to be a super long lesson, but I want to have some time at the very end if you're already had quite a few private chats come through, so I'll be able to answer those and then answer any questions that you feel need to be answered so you can be successful and get everything done in the class, okay? All right. Oh, good morning, by the way, Lonson. Appreciate it. Okay, so we have, these are the objectives that we'll be going through as you go throughout the course, and we'll touch on a little bit of them on the lesson here. Okay, so remember we've talked about North America so far, Central America, and now we're into South America. So first off, kind of where is South America? So South America, after Panama here, everything south of there, and here is the outline, as you can kind of see with my finger pointer here, the outline of the continent. As you can kind of see in the west, running down there, you actually have the fault line. We talked about the Ring of Fire already, but the Ring of Fire, that fault line made those Andes Mountains that are really big and high elevation mountains that you kind of see. Can't see anything. Okay, alright, you can see it now. Okay, good. As you kind of see, the countries of like Colombia, Ecuador, and Chile, all of those have high mountainous areas. Another cool thing, a feature that we'll be talking about South America is the Amazon rainforest that flows from the Andes Mountains and goes through Brazil out to the Atlantic Ocean. So somebody's asked, so Brazil is the biggest part of South America. That's correct. So it is the largest geographic country in South America. But a lot of it's covered with rainforest, right? And we'll be talking about a little bit of that here as we're going through there. But good question. And I'll try to get to your private chats as soon as I can going there. Alright, so I'll just read this real quick. As the fourth largest continent in the world, South America extends from the tropics in the north, just 600 miles from Antarctica. So it's fairly close when you get lower down there in the south. In this unit, you'll explore many of the components to make up the very diverse continent of South America. The country of South America varies in its history, culture, economics, industry, and standard of living. South America has nearly every type of climate, from dry desert to lush rainforest, and a vast variety of fascinating cultures and cities, such as the modern capital of Brasilia, which is Brazil, to the ancient ruins of Monte Picchu. Okay, so let's do it. Oh, I forgot to put that, and I put the answer already. Oh, dang. I must not have put that one in. Okay, well, we'll think of that. let's answer it anyways. I'll see who's alive out there. So everybody better get this question right. Which country is the largest in South America? Is it A, Brazil, B, Chile, C, Peru, or D, Brazil? Everybody better get that one right. Everybody better answer too, since it's right there. I can't believe that wasn't the slide. Oops. Yeah, I can't believe I put that. Oh well. That's alright. Well, at least everybody that's participating, I see some people that haven't put anything on the pool. Go back and look later who hasn't. But you know that Brazil is the largest one. I cannot believe I did that. Okay. So there's quite a few variety of countries in South America. So these are all in alphabetical order. So you can kind of see here. So Argentina, you may have heard of Argentina before. Bolivia, Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Ecuador, Guyana, and I say that one wrong all the time, so sorry. Paraguay, Peru, and I say this one wrong. Suriname, Uruguay, and Venezuela. Okay. So those are the countries that are in that area. So as we're talking about things, we talked about the Andes Mountains at the very beginning. I told you how the fault line created the Andes Mountains that runs around the west side of the continent there. Up in Peru, you have an ancient city that was inhabited by the Inca Empire. So that was the old inhabitants. So if you remember, in Central America, it was the Mayans that were the ancient people there. Here it's the Incas. And they had a very diverse and populated and very ongoing economy within the Inca Empire. They lived in the Andes Mountains, okay, and they actually had the largest population prior to Columbus and the founding of America. They also, which was interesting, is they had a formal government that they created with rules and laws and judges and everything like that. Okay, so the empire was between 1200 and 1535 AD. The Inca population lived in the part of South America extending from the equator to the Pacific coast of Chile. Unlike the Mayan civilization centered by the Incas, and their legacy is very much prevalent throughout the parts of South America. So you can go there, and a lot of influence of this ancient culture is still there, and it's kind of embedded into the culture there. This picture over here to the left is a picture of Monte Piju. It's a city that is basically high, very, very high elevation, so like in the top of the mountains. And it's just a beautiful city. And it's something that people a lot like to go and take trips and visits to. You have to hike quite a ways to get up there to the top. But you can see the beautiful civilization that they had up there right on the top of the mountains. So it's something that's pretty cool and pretty fascinating that I would like to do sometime. Okay, some other things about South America right now is the current economy. We already talked a lot about Central America and how they're so poor there. Well, there is a lot of poverty as well in South America. So it says, although 1/3 of the continent practices subsistence farming, okay. Now, if you think about subsistence farming, that's where you grow food for yourself. So if you have a bad year where you're not growing enough food, you can't survive, right? It's not like you can retire and not grow food. You still have to work all the time when you do that. Most of the citizens in South America are concentrated around the capital cities in most countries, with most notably being Brazil. So if you kind of look over in this picture over here to the right, this is in the capital of Sao Paulo. And as you can see, it's very, very densely populated, which means that there's a lot of people that live in one area. So you'd have little apartment buildings that are on top of each other, and you can kind of see the structure kind of isn't as structurally sound as you would find in the United States. So they kind of don't have a lot of building codes, and they just build the houses, right? And they build them right on top of one another, and sometimes they're a little crazy there. So it consists. So in Sao Paulo, Brazil, it's one of the largest metropolitan areas in the world. In every country in South America, you have many rural poor that flock to the urban city. Okay, so those that are farming, they can't make it on farming anymore, and they decide to go into the city to find employment. But employment levels are really high, and they live in poor little shanty towns, as you can kind of see right here to the right. So, I mean, this is something that is very common throughout South America, is you're going to see this this poverty going on. Although there's a lot of poverty, there is wealth in the area as well, and there's some very interesting, very cool sites. You have the famous site. You may have seen this in Rio. Who out there? Give me a green check mark if you've seen Rio before. The one with the bird. I think it's a Disney movie, right? Rio with the bird. Anybody? They're talking about. You have? Okay. All right. You think you have? Okay. Good. So, oh, you can't do a green check because I got the thing there. Anyways, that was an old movie. I thought that just came out like 5 years ago. I guess 5 years may be old to you guys. It just tells you how old I am. But that's in Rio de Janeiro, and so you can kind of see. You probably saw this famous statue there. I believe that's a statue of Christ, as they kind of put it there. So that's something they put there. So they are fairly religious. Well, the movie's more like 10 years old. Oh, okay. 78. What's the country? It's in Brazil. Yeah, Brazil. Okay. Oh, they already came out with a Rio 2. Okay, I'm way behind on my time, so that's okay. And then you also have modern architecture like Sao Paulo. Thanks for correcting me, guys, because I'm wrong a lot. So no problems. Let's see here. Well, yeah, we're not going to go there. Okay, all right, let's go to the next one here. Okay, now you can actually ask a polling question. This one's a tricky one because there's kind of two answers, but for what we're talking about, this is going to be the answer I want you to put, okay? Because there's a debate of how long the river is, okay? So what's the longest river in the world, okay? Would it be A, the Nile, B, Congo, C, Amazon, or D, the Mississippi? So there's jungle cruise rides in Disneyland. Oh, okay. Very good. Okay, so what do you guys think? The longest river in the world, okay? And as I said, this is debatable. Because they don't know where some start and how long they've been before, but what I want you to put on the exit ticket and your quiz would be what I'm going to tell you. So many bad puns. Okay. So good, you narrowed it down, Ashton, okay? So it is. We're gonna say it's the Nile or the Amazon. Although the Nile is considered by a lot to be the longest river, we're going to be putting C, the Amazon, for a question there. So the Amazon River, the one thing about the Amazon River is it just snakes in and out like a snake, and that's what they kind of call it there. It goes on for miles and miles and miles. You're into yeah, that is a bad one. Just kidding. Yeah, so we're gonna put the Amazon River. Okay, so this is a picture kind of the Amazon River. They use it a lot for different things. Okay, and as you can see, it kind of the picture over here to the left, it snakes around different areas in the rainforest and kind of moves around there like a snake. So if you kind of follow that, that's going to be a very, very long river. There's people that take the best way to travel in that area is by boat, as you can see there to the right. But you see this man over here to the left, he's cutting into one of the trees, and the center there, does anybody know what they're getting out of the tree? What are they getting out of the tree? Okay, juice, sap, tree sap. Okay, it's kind of like a tree sap, but we use it. Okay, very good. Lance said rubber. Yep, Dylan said rubber too. That's correct. Okay, that's where the majority of our rubber comes from. And so we think about rubber like on our car tires. That's not real rubber, but on like 18-wheelers and planes and stuff like that, that's where they use the rubber that comes out of these trees. So that's another reason that we really need the rainforest. We need to keep it around, because if not, we do not have that rubber that's coming out of there. So yeah, it's kind of like Emily, it's kind of like a gum stuff, but rubber for tires. Yep. Why would rubber be in gum? Oh no, it's not in gum. It's like a gummy like substance, and that's what they take. They take that. I think they call it gum when they come out of there, and then they make it into rubber. But they got to use that. So if that's what I'm not talking about gum you chew. No, completely different stuff. Okay. All right. Cool. Well, that leads us to the very end, which is our exit ticket. Okay. So I told you it wouldn't be like super long here. So I've recorded this video. It will be posted on the announcement page if you missed anything. I'm going to stop recording now, but I'll have that. So you have the exit ticket, and the quiz today is Lesson 9 quiz, and you would get the information from the video that was posted on Wednesday last week. This video is not due until I think it's next Monday, December 2nd, when we meet again. Okay? Very cool. I like that. Okay, let me pause it real quick. I'll save all this stuff, and then we'll go from there.